Funny story, folks. I was sitting at this very desk yesterday finishing a video for all of you, and I looked down at my brand new tattoo. And yes, a lot of you noticed I have a brand new tattoo on my left forearm. Anyway, I looked down at this brand new tattoo, and my arm is huge. It's red. It's inflamed. My elbow is 2 times the size. And I end up going to the emergency room because it seems like I got some kind of infection, and I end up getting an IV drip pumped into my vein for a few hours. Anyway, I am doing okay right now. I will tell the full story on my side channel for anybody who's interested, and let's jump into the video.
Irrelevant news.
So somebody tweeted this out about Vicks Vapor Rub.
My son has been sick, not COVID, and a shout out to my mom who loaned us the same pot of Vicks that she used to use on me growing up. Expiration date, 1/1987.
I don't see what the problem is. Everybody knows that an expired bottle of Vicks Vapor Rub is twice as potent as a brand new one. Some have even said that it may even cure cancer. And speaking of cure, a teacher is going viral for not wanting to take any chances with COVID.
I say this one last time. Everyone cover your noses, because I am not getting COVID, because I want to see Harry Styles in concert.
Well, thank goodness somebody with the right priorities is finally putting their foot down with this whole COVID thing. Am I right, Nicki Minaj?
They want you to get vaccinated for the Met. If I get vaccinated, it won't for the Met. It'll be once I feel I've done enough research. I'm working on that now. In the meantime, my loves, be safe. Wear the mask with 2 strings that grips your head and face, not that loose one.
This is one of those rare statements, folks, where she completely lost us in the first half, but got us back in the second.
My cousin in Trinidad won't get the vaccine because his friend got it and became impotent. His testicles became swollen. His friend was weeks away from getting married, and now the girl called off the wedding. So just pray on it and make sure you're comfortable with your decision, not bullied.
Oh no, folks, that is absolutely awful. You know, something similar happened to my cousin's best friend who lives out in Antarctica. He took the COVID vaccine and got eaten by a polar bear. That damn vaccine, it's got to be stopped.
Professor Whitty beefing with a ghastly Nicki Minaj, one of the rudest little madams I've ever met, is not the breaking news that I expected today, but it's most welcome. She's peddling lies that will cost lives.
Ah, yes, in comes the cavalry of dunces led by Piers Morgan to save the day.
Sir, I've never met you. I know we all look alike. Rudest little madam, I like it. Has a special ring to it. Thanks, Pierce. Love the accent. I love to come chat. Scones, tea, clown nose, and big red shoes for you. Let me know, babe.
Oh, wait a minute, folks. Piers Morgan isn't a clown. He's a jackass. It's a totally different animal.
Madam, we met on America's Got Talent when you appeared as a guest act, but you refused to say hello to my 3 young sons because you were too busy. Oh, and it's Piers. I know we Brit names all sound alike.
I don't think I've ever witnessed in my entire life a human being reach out so far for a burn that they end up burning themselves instead.
Stop fucking lying. I never turned out pics with kids. If a middle person told you that, they were out of line. Don't blame me, you stupid piece of shit.
Well, I guess that one turned out well for Piers, huh? Anyway, folks, Nicki Minaj wasn't the only person to not attend the Met Gala. Kylie Jenner announced on Instagram that she was not going to be attending.
I'm so sad I couldn't make it this year. I can't wait to see all the looks.
Oh, I have to agree with that, folks. I am so excited to see all the looks from the Met Gala. So let's take a look at the first look of the night, Jason Derulo.
Jason Derulo has already fallen down the steps at the Met Gala.
Well, I sure hope he has some good life insurance because it sure looks like he cracked his neck. Anyway, folks, Jason Derulo did not actually fall down the stairs at the Met Gala. That is just a meme that gets posted every single year for some reason. I don't even think Jason Derulo actually went to the Met Gala, but we are now going to look at all the looks from the Met Gala in a segment inspired by one of my favorite people in the world, Joan Rivers. She used to have a segment on E! Called Fashion Police. Well, I'm going to do something similar in a segment I like to call Fashion Killer. Shout out to A$AP Rocky for making that intro for me. I really appreciate how much work you put into that. And by the way, I just want to preface this by saying that all jokes aside, everybody who went looked absolutely amazing. Anyway, folks, our first look of the night comes courtesy of Kim Kardashian, who decided to come to the show dressed as everybody's favorite nightmare.
Is Kim K really going to the Met Gala as a Dementor?
The answer is yes. Moving on to Billie Eilish, who stole her grandmother's drapes to make her dresses train. J-Lo, on the other hand, decided to go as Clint Eastwood, but with cleavage. Lorde ended up going as a human personification of a sunflower. Lupita Nyong'o decided to wear the literally only normal thing that I have seen all night. Kendall Jenner got the concept of Wonder Woman's transparent airplane and applied it to a dress. Olivia Rodrigo also went transparent, but with a touch of black and some caviar on top. AOC wore a dress that said "Tax the Rich," which she ironically wore to an event filled with some of the richest people in the world and where an average seat cost about $30,000. Bet they really loved her message. Frank Ocean brought a sick Oompa Loompa with him. Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello went as Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello. And by the way, they were actually part of one of the funniest moments in the entire Met Gala. Don't worry, folks. It's just a paparazzi acting psychotic. It's just like any other regular Tuesday in Hollywood. Anyway, folks, Whoopi Goldberg went dressed as a papier-mâché doll. Kristen Stewart's outfit had everybody asking, is that Kristen Stewart? Justin Bieber showed his love for baggy clothes by wearing a trash bag as pants. Meanwhile, Erykah Badu went dressed as a button. And Dan Levy went dressed as a teacher, desperately trying to get his students to become interested in geography. Alicia Keys went dressed as James Charles may have shit on my skincare brand, but at least he's not here. Timothy Chalamet went dressed as that one friend who's definitely going to get kicked out of the club before 1 a.m. Friend of the show, A$AP Rocky, borrowed his grandmother's quilt for the gala. And meanwhile, Arena Shayk killed her grandmother's entire garden to make her dress. And Ciara tried to not fumble the football. And Megan Fox reminded all the neckbeards why they live in a basement and drink their own urine. Maluma came ready to announce his entry into country music. And Kris Jenner came armed with a weapon, ready to take out anybody who talks bad about her kids. Tiana Taylor decided to drag all of her clothing on the floor behind her. Sharon Stone wore a literal trash bag. Meanwhile, Rihanna came dressed as a very expensive, wrinkled-up Balenciaga glove. Grimes showed up as an anime villain, ready to kill someone. Kim Petras showed up for all the horse girls out there. Meanwhile, Addison Rae surprised everyone by just showing up.
Why did Addison Rae decide to dress like a Republican soccer mom for the Met Gala? It's bad for her.
I mean, Republican soccer mom is on theme with American fashion, folks. Anyway, Zoe Kravitz showed all of us that some dresses are just for show. And Cara Delevingne showed up as every misogynist nightmare. Pete Davidson literally borrowed his mom's clothes. Jack Harlow wore the exact same thing he wears at every single celebrity event. Kid Cudi went dressed as how every 12-year-old wishes their mom would let them dress. And another person who surprised everyone by being there is Dixie D'Amelio.
Bird's nest on your head, a trash bag as your dress, a knee-high socks on your arms. Work it, girl.
Correction, it's not a bird's nest. It's actually a dead plant. And by the way, leave Dixie alone, okay? She's just trying to Audrey Hepburn the whole thing. That was the most shocking aspect of the whole night, folks, because one of the hosts of the Met Gala, Keke Palmer, shared what they were actually serving inside the gala.
This is why they don't show you all the food. I'm just playing.
Now that's $30,000 well spent if I've ever seen it. Anyway, folks, my thoughts on the Met Gala. I thought it was actually pretty cool to see so many digital creators attend the event. I know a lot of people focused on Dixie D'Amelio and Addison Rae and Emma Chamberlain, but you can't forget that Nikki Tutorials, Jackie Aina, the guy from the Try Guys, a whole bunch of other people also attended representing YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And it's really cool to see digital creators there in that kind of space in the fashion world, which is traditionally very selective. You know, Anna Wintour literally handpicks who gets to go to the Met Gala. So it's very cool to see different people from this space just break into that space. Anyway, folks, moving on from overpriced food to somebody who feeds himself out of a toilet, Keemstar recently tweeted this out.
You guys keep telling me to date someone my own age. I Google 39-year-old woman. I will not listen to you guys. If you remember where you were on 9/11, I'm not interested.
You know, folks, I'm glad that Keemstar showed all of us that the only way he gets to see any woman ever is for him to Google them. Anyway, that tweet ended up eliciting a whole different set of reactions on Twitter, with Jordan Yule tweeting a version of it, highlighting Keemstar's statement about 9/11.
This is such a creative way to say you're a P-word.
Oh, geez. I wasn't ready for that one.
Overly edgy, misogynistic, immature, and super creepy. Damn, if only he had slipped a little bit of in, we would have had a classic Keemstar bingo.
Oh, don't worry, folks. There's plenty of time left. He never disappoints.
I love that Keemstar accused an old man of being a P-word and then just broadcast to the world that he wants to fuck little girls. LMAO. Amazing.
It's an interesting paradox, huh? Anyway, folks, Trisha Paytas recently addressed all the stuff going on with them, and there is a lot of stuff.
I've never lied about any things that have happened to me. I've only felt comfortable enough sharing and stating the name of somebody after I had been told about what I said, and I will correct myself, was arrest for CP, which is actually fired for watching pee in a classroom full of kids.
Now that is Trisha addressing the accusation that they allegedly lied about a teacher at their school acting inappropriate and actually being fired for having CP. And my thought on this is that if you're going to make that big of an accusation and you don't have all the facts, then why even make it and even mention the person's name?
The family's getting doxxed. This man in question is deceased and the family is getting harassed, which it's turned into a lot. And the source of all this is the H3 subreddit. That is without a doubt where it's from.
Now, folks, regardless of what Trisha is saying right here, it should be taken into account that Trisha has been teasing this story and talking about it for a very long time. There are several videos where Trisha talks about it in different detail. And in one video specifically, Trisha even apparently encouraged their followers to go and find this teacher and mention them by name and the school district and all this stuff. So it makes it kind of hard to believe that the whole source of the doxing and the harassment is just the H3 subreddit. I mean, people would not know who to harass unless this information was out there.
I was just getting harassed constantly over the weekend saying, apologize to the person because of a video that someone just Googled some facts, said this person is this, this, and this, saying their name. So it's sending more hate to the family, saying their hate name to me, which was just beyond triggering, because here's the thing. I never thought any of this was a problem.
That's understandable, but now the cat's out of the bag, and to solely try to place blame on someone else or a whole forum for the things that are happening is not really going to resolve the situation. If the man's name was completely clear in this situation, then just clear the man's name. If there are actual facts that show that he had inappropriate behavior, then just work that out. I mean, and now that it's been injected into the public discourse, there's no way to really go back on this situation unless you get complete clarity on all the facts.
I thought relationships I had with teachers and older professionals my entire life as a child, as a minor, as a teenager was fine. No one talked about it. No one said it wasn't like. And even for me, I never felt trauma. I've talked about this numerous times. I never thought it was trauma.
Here, Trisha is addressing the contradictions between their actions before and after they started making these accusations. Some have even found videos where Trisha was teaching others how to seduce your teachers. And honestly, you know, people do change their perspective on their experiences. You know, you're not going to think of the same experience the way that you did 5 years ago. You know, certain things like trauma takes a while to digest it, so it's understandable that she would see it differently, but at the same time, you know, just got to be more careful with what you put out there. Anyway, Trisha later addressed all the stuff going on with her fiance Moses as well.
I'm the first to say we had a toxic AF relationship. You know, he did some toxic shit, I did some, and it took us so much in-depth therapy, and just I have no idea how we stuck it out through everything. I'm not sure. I don't know how.
You know, at the end of the day, if they really did work through their problems, good for them. You know, a lot of couples don't work through their issues. In fact, they break up. A lot of divorces happen because people just don't want to work. They don't want to put in the work to make a relationship work. And relationships do require a lot of work, contrary to belief. It's not the thing where you just like show up and it's done. Boom. You know, like especially in a long-term relationship, there are certain years and certain phases in the relationship where you may need more work and conversation and communication, and sometimes therapy helps. And in this case, it looks like it did.
But now it's just like it's filtering into his work, and people are tweeting, just like really taking a really strong allegation, which now has to be done. Now we have to deal with it legally, right? Like as it should be at this point, because now it is affecting work.
I don't know if that means that Trisha and Moses are planning on suing the people or the person who made certain accusations against Moses. It's unclear from what Trisha said. It sounds like they're planning on resolving this whole thing in court. That's going to take a lot of money to prove defamation. That's one of the hardest things that you can prove, because you have to prove intent of malice. Ironically, I think the lesson here with Trisha is the exact same lesson that Shane Dawson learned a few years ago. It's be careful what you post on the internet. Make sure that what you are posting is 100% correct, especially if you're going to accuse one of your teachers of doing something to you or being fired for a specific reason and then naming them and then encouraging people to go find them. The internet can be a dark place, folks. Anyway, folks, Ethan Klein responded to Trisha's video, specifically the accusation that Trisha made that Ethan was somehow responsible for the hate and the harassment that Trisha and the teacher that Trisha named were receiving.
If Trisha wants me to stop talking about her, then she needs to stop lying about me. Her teacher is being doxxed for one reason only. She mentioned him by name, school, and year, and told people to look him up. She needs to take responsibility and stop blaming me for her shit.
This whole situation is really tough to resolve because this person's name is already out there. The accusation has already been made. There's facts and statements being constantly made that are contradicting each other. The whole conversation around this is muddled, and the person at the center of this isn't alive to defend themselves.
Trisha has accused me of sending a hate mob after her. That's literally all she's tried to do since the first day frenemies ended. I have not even mentioned their allegations once on the podcast. She is lying and saying it's our fault. We have nothing to do with this hate mob.
Honestly, I don't think this whole situation is going to end anytime soon. There's still a whole lot of questions that remain unanswered. And now, palate cleanser.